Kayacağız ama kaymayız değil mi lan?
Turkey has pledged to provide humanitarian aid to people affected by the floods. Turkish President Erdogan said today flash floods hit 6 Turkish provinces. Flash floods and landslides hit 6 Turkish provinces. The flooding in Istanbul, Turkey, the largest city caused widespread destruction and large-scale damage, highlighting the vulnerability of urban areas of extreme weather events. Torrential rain pounded the city, leaving the flash flood and inundated streets, damaged home and paralyzed daily life. The downpour, which began in early hours of the morning, was one of the heaviest city and seen in recent years, overwhelming drainage system and leaving large swamps in the city underwater. Residents of low-lying area were particularly affected, many of whom found homes submerged in flood waters. Emergency services were quickly deployed to help those trapped in their homes and standard flash flood routes. However, the scale of the flood prevented rescue teams from reaching all areas quickly, leaving some residents stranded. Videos circulated on social media showcased flooding on the streets, underpass turned into rivers, and people watched throughout the waist-deep water. The flooding also brought the city transport network and standstill. Several major routes became impassable, and metro systems suffered serious disruption, with the some lines completely shut down due to flooding tracks. Many communities were stranded, unable to get their workplaces turned to homes. The city airports were also affected, with delays and cancellation due to the weather. In the response of natural disaster, Istanbul major urged residents to stay at home and avoid unnecessary travel. They ensured the public that the city was doing everything possible to cope with the situation and minimize further damage. Mangu also called the review of the city infrastructure, stressing the need of long-term solution to prevent frequency in such events to importance of climate change increases. The flooding in Istanbul is a part of extreme weather events that have affected Turkey in recent years. Scientists that warn such incidents are likely to become common on the planet warns and call on the authority to invest in the climate change resilience issue. In Istanbul, the city, more than 15 million people in a risk are particularly to the dense population of the extensive infrastructure. As the floodwaters begin to lessen, the full extent of the damage becoming apparent. Many residents are now facing daunting tasks to rebuild their homes and businesses, and the city officials are assuring the long-term impact of the city infrastructure. The disaster has also sparked a debate about the urban planning to adequately Istanbul drainage system, with many calling to immediate action to improve the situation's ability to cope with the future flooding. The flooding in Istanbul severe as documented as the growing challenges posed by the climate change. As the city begins to recover, the focus will likely to be on how better prepared to future extreme weather events and prevent repeat devastation we have seen in recent years. The Turkish government recognizes the gravity of the situation, has declared a state of emergency in the affected regions, empowering local authority with the additional rescue capabilities to manage the crisis effectively. The military have been deployed to assist in rescue operations. Utilities, helicopters, and inhabitants' vehicles reach remote isolated areas cut off by the rising floodwaters. Meteorologists are closely monitoring weather patterns, providing long-term updates to enable authority to make informed discussions regarding evacuation order to rescue allocation. The unpredictable nature of storms has highlighted the need of swift adaptive response to save ground and lives to property population. The economic impact of the flood and storms is already evident, with the agriculture, infrastructure, and businesses facing significant losses. Farmers in the affected region are reported group damage, exacerbating concerns about the flood security and the aftermath of the disaster. The government is formulating plans of economic recovery, including financial assistance and support to affected businesses to rebuild and resume operations. Environmental agencies are also high alert as the flood phase and the threat ecosystem and water quality. Efforts are underway to monitor the content potential environmental damage with the focus prevention, contamination, and promotion sustainable recovery particulars. The international community continued to stand in solidarity with the Turkey, affecting only immediate humanitarian aid by the experienced disaster management and climate resilience. This collaborative approach reflects a shared recognition in the intercontinental global challenges posed by the climate change and the necessity of cooperation operating force address in the far-reaching parks. The influence invites in Turkey severe stock in the agency to address climate change and invest in long-term adaptation strategies. As nation worldwide grapple with the increasingly frequent and severe weather events, the call to proactive measures to mitigate the impact of climate change becoming more proactive than ever. The Turkish crisis underscores the need to global commitment to rebuild resilient communities to force international cooperation to confront the challenges posed by the changing climate. Istanbul, Turkey is currently experiencing a severe storm with a heavy rainfall and strong winds caused widespread disruption across the city. The storm, which began in the early hour of the morning, led to flooding in several areas where the roads and public transportation severely affected. Local authorities have urged residents to stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel as the emergency service worked to clear debris to assist those affected by the storm. Many businesses and schools have been forced to close with the power outage reported in some areas. The storm has also led to flight cancellation and delays at Istanbul attractive airport. One of the business airport in Europe, passengers are advised to check with the airlines before traveling to the airport. The Turkish Red Crescent has deployed a team to assist with the relief efforts, provided emergency supplies and support to those affected by the storm. The organization are urged residents to take precautions and stay safe during the severe weather conditions. This is not the first time Istanbul has been severe weather in recent years. The flash flooding, heavy snowfall, similar disruption in the past. The city location Bosphorus terrain in the Mediterranean and Black Sea make it particularly susceptible in the extreme weather conditions. With the winds reaching speed up over the 100 km per hour and torrential rain, the storm poses significant threat to Turkish infrastructure and safety. Coastal areas in particular are bracing for the impact and powerful gust of wind tides, which could result in flooding in coastal areas. With the wind reaching speed over the 100 km per hour and torrential rain, the storm poses significant threat to Turkish infrastructure and safety. Coastal areas in particular are bracing with the impact powerful gusts and high tides, which could result in flash flooding coastal erosions. Authorities have issued severe warning, urging citizens to take precautions, make sure to stay indoors until the storm subsides. Emergency response teams have been mobilized to swiftly address emergency and sites to address during the turbulent period. Transportation network, including the air and sea travel, have been severely disrupted, with the flight cancellation and the suspended ferry service. Major roads and highways are closely affected, with the fallen trees, debris, observed travel routes. The storm has dealt blow the Turkish agriculture sector, as well as reports to group damage livestock losers emergency from the affected areas. Farmers are left grappling with the aftermath as they assist to impact of their livelihood. The Turkish government has brought into action coordination rescue and relief force across the country. Local authorities are working tirelessly to restore essential services and provide aid to those affected by the storm fury. The Turkish authorities have deployed emergency service to the affected areas with the help of the cleanup force and provide support to those affected by the storm. Local officials have urged residents to take precautions to stay indoors and fear the bad weather in the expected incoming days. Turkish have been hit by fire storm and a hailstorm that left trail of destruction in its wake. The extreme weather coordination battered country western coast, causing damage to building vehicles and crops. Reports suggest that the hailstorm at the south of Goldsball that the storm brought with a heavy rain, strong winds, leaving the flooding in some areas. The city of Izmir was particularly hardest hit, with many residents stranded roads and submerged public transportation services were suspended. The storm and hailstorm have caused significant damage to agriculture, with many farmers reported their crops have been destroyed. The Turkish government has promised to provide assistance to those affected, including financial aid and support help to the back on their feet. The extreme weather conditions are the latest series of natural disasters to hit Turkey in recent years. In 1219, the country was hit by a powerful earthquake that caused widespread damage to claims of lives of the 14 people.